Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Easton Cook, and this is the very first iPhone. Just take a look at it. This is wild. We have gone from this, the very first iPhone, to this. This is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Just take a moment. Look at the difference here. Now, my girlfriend's mom got me this iPhone for my birthday because she knows that I love Apple. And when I think about these two iPhones, when I look at the iPhone of now versus the iPhone of then, I think about how far we've come. And I mean the size, the feel, the material. The physical components of the phone have evolved in ways that were just unimaginable in the past. But the hardware isn't the only thing that has made a massive change. The software has made massive leaps. And if you're like me, you've watched Apple keynotes for years. But if you're not, then maybe you just want to kind of know the highlights, the Spark Notes version of what happened in the keynotes. What do I have to look forward to? And if that's the case, guess what? This video is for you. I'm not going into major detail, all right? If you want to know every single little thing, go watch the keynote yourself. What I am going to do is I'm going to give you highlights of what to expect from Apple has presented today at the WWDC. But before I do, y'all make sure and subscribe, like the video. You can also shop my merch at eastonexplorers.com. Now let's do this. Y'all, let's start with Vision OS. This is for the Apple Vision Pro, the software update. This is number 2. It seemed like the entire upgrade for this software was really just videos and photos. And when I say that, I mean viewing them. Now, I'm assuming that the majority of you watching this do not have the Apple Vision Pro, and I'm only saying this because I feel like the product itself has not done very well. On the last earnings call for Apple, they didn't even mention how many they sold. So, and I also don't have it, so we're gonna go ahead and just keep moving on. So let's get into iOS 18. In iOS 18, there's more creativity with the home screen. You can now put apps in any order and just kind of all around your screen. You're not locked into filling the screen with rows of apps. There's a new look for apps in dark mode, new colors for all apps that match your wallpaper, a type of tint. Also, Control Center gets new gestures and more control when you swipe down from the top right corner. Basically, more control over the look and options in your Control Center. This is kind of cool. Privacy is expanded to hide apps and will require authentication via Face ID, so no cross information is seen inadvertently from app to app when your phone is being borrowed. Really great for those with secrets. Messages. You can now schedule messages. Shut up, Android users. Yeah, we know. You've had it first. And we don't care. We get it now, and that's all that matters to us. Also in Messages, you can now cross out and underline text. Small update, but I feel like it'll be gladly accepted and used. Text messages via satellite. No data, no problem. Stranded somewhere, not an issue. Point your phone up to the sky and text, baby boo. Mail. Across all your accounts in the app, it'll now automatically sort and categorize your mail. For example, all your flight information. If you're having a lot of emails sent from an airline and you're like, whoa, so many changes and updates, it will now just categorize everything and you've got it all right there in one section. Also, with all these categories, you can now archive or delete all your mail in one category, so it's easier to clean up. No more 1,220 unread messages just sitting in your email. They'll be categorized automatically so you can go through them with efficiency. Although, for some of you, you've decided to live this life of 1,220 unread emails, and that's just how it is. So maybe nothing will change for you. Journal. You get more stats with your feelings as you log it. I've actually never used this app, so maybe this is the update you wanted. I don't know. Photos. Really, just more organized. Categorizes photos automatically. It shows groups of people and albums, places, activities, etc. It kind of feels like old updates that have already happened, just maybe a little more tuned. In my humble opinion, not much to look forward to in the Photos app. Audio and home, and let's start with AirPods. This is pretty cool. You can now nod your head yes or no when Siri says, you have a call from, answer it. This is actually very much needed because if you're in a crowded room or you're in like an elevator like the keynote shows in the video, and you're just standing there and you just randomly say, yes, no, it's so awkward. So I'm really glad that you can now just voice isolation. Loud environment? No problem. Only your voice will be heard on the other end. I actually legit just had this issue today with my girlfriend Tori. She just got into Atlanta and she got on the plane train and it was super loud. She had her AirPods in. I was trying to talk to her and all I heard was the crowd behind her and I was like, Ed, it's really hard to hear you. But going forward, that's fixed. I will now only hear her voice in a crowded room. It's almost poetic. TV. This is actually a pretty cool enhancement here. Dialogue is now enhanced over the sounds. Crazy action scene happening and you want to hear the profanity being screamed? Not a problem. There's a setting for that now. WatchOS. New effort ratings for better data when you work out. There's also a new Vitals app. So as far as WatchOS goes, This is what I'm most excited for. You can view the metrics being collected by sleep, activity, your heart rate, etc. It'll give you a summary of your health metrics and give possible reasons for the changes, and I like this. The new software for iPad OS. Same stuff I mentioned with the iOS 18, and then some small differences here and there. For example, the tab bar throughout your apps can be customized. Not much to say on that one. SharePlay gets a massive update though, because now in SharePlay, this will allow for the remote control of someone else's iPad, with their permission, of course. You can't just take over someone's iPad without their permission. So this is massive. Now you can save your parents so much headache, although the new headache will be guiding them through how to accept the access you've requested. It's on the top of the screen. You got this. Like, just look up. Calculator is on the iPad. Finally, I'm not even gonna go into detail on this because this should have been done long ago, but a cool feature, when writing with the Apple Pencil in Notes, if you were to write out an equation and then you add the equal sign, then automatically, without doing anything else, iPad will solve the equation for you. That's actually kind of cool. Mac OS. You can plan a hike in Maps. Well, actually, is that new? I don't. It was mentioned. On Mac OS, you now have something called iPhone mirroring. You can see what's on your iPhone on your Mac. Y'all, this is wild. Your phone's across the room, right? It's in another room in the house, and you're like, oh, I need to check something. Now you can access your iPhone from your Mac, and you can see everything on your iPhone, and you can still interact with all your apps and everything. Oh, and your phone stays locked the entire time while you're using this feature on Mac. FaceTime now has backgrounds. No more messy room. Safari comes with summaries across web pages. This basically just allows you to directly interact with Maps or Apple Music or Apple TV directly in Safari while you're looking up whatever you're looking up. Now, the main event, what we're closing with, and you could tell, by the way, you could tell that all the keynote speakers were kind of rushing through all these other updates I'm mentioning, because there were small things here and there. I just mentioned the big things, but you could tell they were rushing through everything just to get to this. Apple Intelligence. With Apple Intelligence, there will now be automatic prioritizing of notifications, which we've all been there. This is super annoying, where you just get notification after notification and it just goes on and on and on. And it's like, okay, oh my god, and you're just swiping through, you're just trying to delete, and sometimes you just hit the X just to get rid of everything. Rewriting emails, notes, or basically anything you type up. It spell checks, it gives you new ideas, you can change it. Just think AI. Also, speaking of AI, images. You can now write on your iPhone or write on your Apple device, you can type up a prompt, it will generate an image, and you can send it. However, note that there's only 3 types of images it can generate, as far as like sketches or like animations. Action. AI is coming to Apple devices. It allows you to simply ask for whatever you want, and your device finds it and it brings it up for you. No more will Siri respond with, after a request. It is the most disrespectful thing they've ever done with Siri. Now, what makes this different from ChatGPT or other AI models? Well, it's got personal understanding. This means that AI will basically get to know you without tracking you. It can adapt to what you want in the moment. It's personal. Also, it's on the device, which, let's be real, okay? The phone is an extension of you, all right? This now is our life. When you lose your phone, you get terrified, and there's a reason for it. Like everything, all your data, all your memories, your conversations, I mean, your content, everything is on that device. So now with AI being integrated into it, it knows you, it knows how you talk, it knows how you ask for things, it knows what you mean when you stumble or you kind of fumble your words. And also when it can't be processed on the device itself, then it'll draw on what Apple is calling private cloud compute. This just means that when it needs the internet to kind of fulfill your request or figure out what you're asking for, it's fully private. It won't store your data when you make a request. This really does set a standard for AI, which up to right now, and myself included, I don't think we fully understand how much data is being stored using AI. AI literally learns on our conversations and what we ask and how we interact with each other online. Siri makeover. This looks amazing, y'all. Just look. Look at Siri. Siri looks great. Actually uses the full screen. This is amazing. I absolutely love it. Let's watch it again. Also, you no longer have to just speak to Siri. Now you can actually type out what you're wanting to ask. Because again, it is kind of awkward when you're in a room and you're like, oh, I need to ask Siri something, or I need to have Siri do something for me, like set something on my calendar. And you're like, I don't want to be the one who's like, hey Siri, da 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 da, blah blah blah. Oh crap. While other people are around. So this is really cool that you can just kind of discreetly text it and then Siri does it. Also, like I mentioned earlier, Siri is smarter. She can actually understand, did I say she? It can actually understand vague requests. If you stumble over your words and you correct yourself, Siri's ready for it. Also, this new Siri includes something that Apple has branded personal context. Again, like I mentioned, your iPhone is an extension of you, which means if someone took your phone and looked through everything, they'd get a pretty good idea of who you are. Now picture an AI living in your phone and getting to know you. Every text, every song, every calendar input. You can be as vague as, what time does mom land? And it will cross-reference your text to figure out the answer. Also, and I feel like this isn't super shocking, but ChatGPT is fully integrated into Siri now. Now, before Siri actually reaches out to ChatGPT, if this is something that requires a bit more power, and you're like, hey, I need this to be done, and Siri's like, ugh, I don't know if I can do it, it will ask your permission. It'll say, hey, care if I ask ChatGPT? And if you say yes, it will pull from ChatGPT right then and there and give you the answer. So it's not a requirement to use ChatGPT. It's just integrated in a way that you don't have to move apps or whatever. Siri can use ChatGPT. Also, privacy is still a barrier that Apple will not break. So I really appreciate this. Your information, whatever request you make, or even when you reach out to ChatGPT, when you do it through Siri, it will not be logged. And in the world we live in right now, that's a pretty big deal. And that's all for today, y'all. Thanks for watching. Make sure and subscribe, like the video if you liked it. Follow me on the socials, shop my Amazon storefront. Also check out my merch, at eastonexplores.com. Let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to the most with the new software updates coming out this fall. And I'll talk to y'all next time. God be with you.